Honda have just announced what has to be a new contender for the best looking retro motorcycle on the market, with a limited run of what they're calling the CB1100 RS54. So in today's video, we're going to pour over every detail of this beautiful machine. Honda announced this new bike to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the original CB750, which was launched in 1969. Honda say that the inline 4-cylinder Honda CB750 took center stage, wowing the world and laying down a superbike blueprint that still stands today. In order to mark the anniversary of such a significant bike in the company's history, Honda have partnered with 54 Motorcycles, a custom shop established by TV's Guy Willison, to produce just 54 units of this incredible looking bike based on the existing CB1100 RS Retro. Guy said of the project that 54 Motorcycles was created to move away from the one-size-fits-all standard and to build thoroughbred machines with cool design, a statement of individualism, quality, performance and exclusivity. From the moment I first saw the CB1100 RS, I knew that it had the potential to be a thoroughbred single-seat, point-and-squirt A and B road blaster. For those of you unfamiliar with that bike, here's a quick overview of its specs. It's an oil and air-cooled 1140cc inline 4 capable of just under 90 horsepower and 91 Nm of peak torque. Although that sounds like a decent amount of grunt, perhaps its 252 kg curb weight limits its agility somewhat, despite reasonably spec Showa conventional forks and piggyback dual shocks and twin-disc 4-pot radial Tokico brakes at the front. But maybe some of the streamlining that 54 has done on the limited edition could have shaved off a few kilos. That said, to my eye, it's a lovely looking machine that provides a good base for a custom build like this with a fairly traditional looking overall stance. So what do you get extra in the limited edition 54 bike? The paintwork is unique to this model, with guys saying that the paintwork had to hark back to the period in my youth where Honda dominated world endurance racing with their red, white and blue works racers. There are no stickers or transfers, even the retro Honda logo and wing are lovingly hand painted. To finish off the paintwork, each machine is also individually numbered, etched into the 5 of the nickel-plated 54 badge, which is inset into the tailpiece. The general look of the bike has then been pared down and simplified to give it a more racy look. A big part of this is the single seat conversion, doing away with the stock bike's more substantial retro looking dual seat in favour of a hand-stitched diamond pattern Alcantara and leather cover and a handcrafted aluminium tailpiece which has been painted to echo the style of a race number board. There's also a handmade aluminium fairing which to me looks extremely similar to the Kawasaki Z900 RS Cafe, although in fairness both bikes imitate the bikini fairings of yesteryear. The front end is finished off with slimline mirrors, shorty colour-coded racing brake and clutch levers, Tomaselli racing grips and Renthal ultra-low handlebars which will change the riding position to something that feels a little more sporty. The bike is finished with 4x2 race-fit urban growler silencers which ought to sound pretty tasty, although they're technically approved for track use only. Honda gave the CB1100 RS alternate cam timing to inject some character into the inline 4, so I'm looking forward to hearing how this bike sounds. All of this detail is interesting, but I think the ultimate achievement of this bike is how it looks as a whole. The single seat and fairing give it a nice sporty twist, and the modified equipment such as the bars, grips, levers and mirrors give it an extra touch of class. I also like how the silencers shorten up the back end. There's a lot to like about this custom. The list price of the 54 machines being built is £15,554, which is about £4.5 more than the £11,139 of the base model. Whether this is good value or not is somewhat subjective, but for a bit of context, Triumph's Thruxton TFC, which was announced earlier this year, costs £17,500, which is up by a similar £5,000 from the £12,400 of the regular Thruxton R. What do you guys think of the CB1100 RS54? Personally, I think it looks cracking, so I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Would you take this over a Z900 RS Cafe or a Thruxton? I'm a Triumph guy through and through, but it's a close run thing on this one. And if you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll catch you in the next video.